what I'm going to start with is on my floor plan sheet, I'm going to pick a point to start from and number every single exterior wall. I'm going to go ahead and start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, goes all the way across, 8, 9, 10 up here, 11 on the end, 12, 13, 14, 15 here, 16, I'm sorry, I skipped a wall, you might do that too, 16 here, 17 along the back, and 18 here, so that I have them labeled all the way around. I'm now going to use this to make sure I have and actually label all of my elevation views. So what I'm going to start with is actually the front of my house, which is my south elevation here. So as I look at it, wall number 1 is right here, so I'm going to label that as 1. Also going to like a little mark on that wall to know that I have it on my elevations. Got 3 here, 3 there, 5 here, 5 there, 7 with the front door, 7 there, and then 9 over here. Got that done. Now, I'm going to look at it by actually turning the page here. I'm going to look at a different elevation. I'm going to look at this one right here. This is my west elevation, and I turn my page to match. Put it in camera view here. And now I can see, and everything should line up because again, the scales are the same. Got 2 right here. Got 18 right here. So I mark those off to use my other elevation. I'm going to turn these around and line everything up. Now, you're going to have to really know your floor plan to make some decisions. Right now, obviously, 10 is right here. 8 is this little one right here. Now, this is no good to me, so I'm going to actually put a squiggle through it, because what I'm seeing is the part of 4. So I'm seeing about half of 4 that is behind this wall. So that section does me no good, which is why I go ahead and mark it out. This section, however, since I already know from my plan that wall 11 and 15 basically line up here to here, and I am seeing the entire wall 16 there, I can use it here. I could also use it from one of my other views I'll show you in a moment. I'm now going to look at my north one and turn this around so it matches. I've got 17 here. Oh, sorry, I didn't mark 16. I've got 15 here, 13 with the door, and 11 over here. And I make a mark. Now, as I look at my floor plan, the walls I do not have are 14 and 12, which I knew that because I have that as a bump in. I also don't have 4 and 6, because again, I have that as a bump in. The other video showed me how to use my crop lines to create additional printouts of the ones that were missing. Now when I put those in there on the front view here, which I can turn right around, and again I have my cut of the west elevation down here, so I'm looking at it this way, and there is my wall 6 right here. Again, if I wanted to, I could kind of fold this over at that gap and line things up with That's the exterior wall. Here's, again, I cut it right in here, so you're seeing the wall, part of that, part of the kitchen, part of the dining space as well. On my other view, turning this around the other direction, or I'm sorry, moving it up to here, you can see that wall 4 is now there. So that's the only one that these get me, but I'm going to go ahead and mark off 6 and 4. Do the same thing. I had a third sheet I had to print that gets me 14 right here. This is where I could have also used the 16 that's right here. You might, again, if you're not sure, use the one that's cut. As well as here, looking in the west direction, getting me wall 12. So at that point, I should have all of mine marked off. 1, 2. And I do have them all marked off all the way around. These are pages that, especially once I add my name to it, these are all the pages that I'm going to name. Future steps will have you cut these out and start to glue them down as needed. But I've now made sure that I have all of my exterior walls. If I needed to, I could go back to Revit to print some of the ones that I might have not known I was missing or not realized I needed. But this is a great way to double check that you have all the printouts you need before you move to the next step. Also make sure you add your names to the tops of each of these pages, so if you spill them, if you leave one out, it gets back to you after you've already done this work.